Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Wherever you are, I hope you're having an amazing day. It is Friday, April 10th, 2014, and this is the facts of the matter. Depression and despair. Those dark undercurrents of desperate emotions that drag us down into the murky shadows of hopelessness and despondency. The bad news is that every follower of Christ seems to be subjected from time to time to this state of gloom, the so called dark night of the soul. Job, while languishing near death, cried out, "May the day of my birth perish. I despise my life. My days have no meaning." Job chapter 3. Job chapter 3, verse 3. Let the day perish wherein I was born, and the night in which it was said, there is a man child conceived. Chapter 7, verse 16. I loathe it. I would not live alway. Let me alone, for my days are vanity. Elijah, after a great spiritual victory, lamented, I have had enough, Lord. Take my life. 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 5. And as he lay and slept under a juniper tree, behold, then an angel touched him and said unto him, Arise and eat. Paul, while suffering intense hardship in Asia, wrote, We were under great pressure, far beyond our ability to endure, so that we despaired even of life. Indeed, in our hearts we felt the sentence of death. 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 8 and 9. For we would not, brethren, have you ignorant of our trouble which came to us in Asia, that we were pressed out of measure, above strength, insomuch that we despaired even our life. But we had the sentence of death in ourselves, that we should not trust in ourselves, but in God, which raiseth the dead. Today, if you are in the midst of one of these dark nights of the souls, consider and claim God's promises from His Word. Keep in mind, however, that with most promises, there is a condition for us to fulfill. You can't just get what you want and not put something back into it. The promise, even in darkness, light dawns for the condition, upright for the gracious and compassionate and righteous man. Psalms chapter 112, verse 4. Unto the upright there ariseth light in the darkness. He is gracious and full of compassion and righteousness. The promise, I am the light of the world. The condition, whoever follows me. Promise, will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. John chapter 8, verse 12. Then spake Jesus again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. the condition to that promise? If you spend yourself in behalf of the hungry and satisfy the needs of the oppressed. Promise. When your light will rise in the darkness, and your night will become like the noonday. The Lord will guide you always. He will satisfy your needs in a sun-scorched land and will strengthen your frame. You will be like a well-watered garden, like a spring whose water never fails. Isaiah chapter 58, verses 10 and 11. Verse 10. And if thou draw out thy soul to the hungry, and satisfy the afflicted soul, then shall thy light rise in obscurity, and thy darkness be as the noonday. Verse 11. And the Lord shall guide thee continually, and satisfy thy soul in drought, and make fat thy bones. And thou shalt be like a watered garden, and like a spring of water, whose waters fail not. Because depression and despair are tools the enemy often uses in his attack against Christ's followers, it is imperative that we fight back with God's spiritual arsenal, which includes the Word of God. So claim His promises, fulfill the Word's conditions, and then see Him win the victory on your behalf. Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 through 20. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of His might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Verse 13. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. 14. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness. 15. And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. 16. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. 17. And take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. 18. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. 19. And for me, that utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel. Of the gospel. And the last verse, verse 20. For which I am an ambassador in bonds, that therefore I may speak boldly as I ought to speak. Depression and despair, they ain't got nothing on me. And that is the facts of the matter. For April 11th, 2014. Peace be in you, my brothers and sisters. May the Lord have mercy on us all. I love you guys so very much. God bless.